make this precious wall flag, but always remember to share this so it was saved to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. I want to make a wall hanging flag. Now, I say wall hanging, you could use it as a garden flag, but this is just quilt cotton, so I don't know that it would handle being outside very well, but you could make it out of a different fabric and it probably would be okay outside. But I want to make this wall hanging because then I want to change it out every month. How much fun would that be? And then you get to make something new every month, and they're easy to store, and then it's super easy to display. I started with 2 pieces of fabric that are 18 inches by 20 inches. And I started with 4 pieces of fabric that are 4 inches by 10 inches, okay? The first thing I'm gonna do is put my design on my flag. I made this star when I was doing the tutorial for y'all on putting the star on a t-shirt. So you can do that, or any of the appliques that you see will fit on here. Now this is the 18-inch width and this is the 20 inches. So I'm laying it on here. I'm gonna pin it and I'm gonna straight stitch it all the way around.
I plan on doing all the appliques. Summer, winter, spring, fall, Christmas, Thanksgiving, so I can change it out for every season.
I've pinned it on. Now this design I made, and I do have flannel behind it, but you could do one and not put flannel behind it. It really doesn't matter what applique you use. Any of them will work, and we're gonna do a bunch of them, starting with this one. I had this one. I had already put the flannel on it, so I'm leaving the flannel. And I don't know if I'll put flannel on all of mine, but definitely some of them. And I'm going to go and straight stitch just on the outside of the star all the way around. Close to the edge, like a top stitch, not a 1/4 inch seam. Only so as close as you're comfortable though.
I'm not committing to putting flannel behind every design because I'm a girl and I might change my mind. My sweet Olive the other night said, "Mommy, can I change my mind?" I said, "Darling, you are a girl. You can always change your mind." I'm just sewing this on with a straight stitch and white thread. You could change your thread color if you wanted to, or you could sew it on with a zigzag stitch. I don't plan on washing this probably ever, and I like the fray anyway if I were to wash it, but because I don't plan to wash it, I'm just doing a straight stitch. And I'm just using white thread because my fabric is a bunch of different colors and white thread will blend perfectly fine. But if you were using something that was, let's say, dark green and white thread yelled at you, you may want to change your thread color.
Now, we're going to take our 4-inch by 10-inch pieces. We're going to put 2 of them together, pretty side to pretty side. We're going to sew down 2 sides, turn it right side out. Then we're going to do the same thing with the other 2. These are going to be our straps that go up here for our flag to hang with.
I made the straps wide like this because I just like it and I wanted them to be easy to turn. But you could make yours more narrow if you wanted to, or you could do more than 2 straps. You do whatever you like. And when I turn my projects right side out, I take a chopstick and push them down the side so that the edges push out nicely. But somebody said a popsicle stick works great, and I thought that was kind of genius.
Now I'm going to iron my straps flat. This is my ironing situation. We've talked about this before. This is my wool mat, and this is a heat-resistant pad underneath it because I'm not confident that the heat won't go through my wool mat and burn my table. So I have the heat-resistant pad. And this is my Chi iron. She's my favorite. I don't love a small iron. I know some of y'all do, but I just don't. I love the weight of a large iron, and I've had a bunch of different irons, and this one is by far my favorite. All of this is linked in my Walmart storefront, and the Walmart storefront is linked in the caption if you're looking for any of this. Now let's iron our second strap. The next thing I'm going to do is top stitch down both sides of both straps.
Now this is just a straight stitch, sewn closer to the edge, not a 1/4 inch, but maybe like 1/8 inch, but only sew as close as you're comfortable sewing. It's just going to help your straps lay flat and look really nice. I didn't change my thread color for this either. I just continued to use the white, but depending on the background of your flag, you may choose to change the thread color, and that's perfectly fine.
Now, we've sewn our applique on our front piece. We have sewn our straps. Now we're ready to put it together. So we're going to put our back piece pretty side up. This is the 18-inch side. This is the 20-inch side. We're going to take our strap, fold it in half, and lay it about 1 inch from the edge. And we're going to take our second strap and do the same thing, about 1 inch from the other edge. You see that? Now we're going to take our front piece and lay it whatever side you want to be up. This one is not directional, but pretend like if it was directional, you would want the top of your design at the top of your flag. So we're going to put it pretty side to pretty side. So we have pretty side, our little straps, and then pretty side. just like this. Now we're gonna sew all the way around, leaving a hole so we can turn it right side out. I'm so excited about this flag, y'all. But I've been wanting to make one forever, I feel like. Okay, straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you start and when you stop. Because my grandma said so.
And every time I don't say because my grandma said so, one of y'all gets in my comments and reminds me that I didn't say it. And y'all, I get so tickled. I miss my grandmother every day, but this journey has definitely made me miss her more. I've only been teaching on social media for about 6 months or so, and I think about how proud she would be. How proud she would be of me, how proud she would be of y'all. She would mostly be proud of the sew and tells because she genuinely loved to sew the same way that we all do.
Okay. So we've sewn it. Now let's put our hand inside it, turn it, and poke out your corners. Y'all know the drill. Chopstick, handy dandy tool, fingers. Do not use your scissors. And I know y'all do. I know y'all use them because guess who used to use theirs? Because they were handy and always there. And that's how I know it's a terrible idea from lots of experiences, not just one. Oh my goodness. Here's our flag. We're going to iron it, and then we're going to top stitch it, and then we're going to hang it up.
This is my ironing situation, and yes, it's a whole situation. It's a heat-resistant pad, a wool mat, and then my iron. Now, I have the heat-resistant pad underneath my wool mat because I'm afraid that the heat is going to go through the wool mat and burn my table. And the iron is my most favorite iron I've ever owned. It's a Chi iron and not expensive as far as irons go. $60 or so at Walmart, and all of this is linked in my Walmart storefront, and that's linked in the caption if you're looking for any of it.
All right, let's top stitch it and put it on our hanger.
Top stitching is something I didn't do a lot of when I first started sewing because it was an extra step and I wasn't into it. But y'all, I promise the top stitching makes all of the difference. So take a few minutes and top stitch it. It'll make your flag lay flat and pretty. And the only thing that I didn't do to this flag that I now wish I would have is made it reversible. How genius would that have been? The next one we'll make reversible. And I already cannot wait to see the flags that y'all create. I know they're going to be super creative and I'm really excited about them. So don't forget to email the photo of your flag to hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com for sew and tell because we all want to see.
Okay, here's our flag. I can't wait. I'm sewing this and all I can think about is how cute this is going to be for July the 4th with something patriotic. Oh my goodness. And here's our hanger. Now this came from Amazon. It's linked in the Amazon storefront if y'all are interested in it. There's a whole bunch of different kinds out there that you can get, or maybe you already have one. But this is mine. Dun dun dun. Look how cute that is, y'all. I cannot wait to hang it up. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher.